minutes later, bitch. But tell you, girl, I'm just like Madonna. Got the fame so sharp like piranhas. Put it in my car if I wanna. Fendi, Prince, Dolce, and Gabbana. Pinky rings, cigars, that's Cubana. Call him daddy, he calls me mama. We can make him sweat like a sauna.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 29 of Pop Icon, the podcast. I'm your host, David, a digital media student at Gulf Coast State College and the host of Pop Icon Radio, Mondays through Fridays from 8 to 9 in the morning on 90.7 WKGC, HG3, The Alternation. We talk pop culture, we play pop music, and thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I cannot believe we're already at 29 episodes. It's like kind of wild to me. Next week will be episode 30. And you know what? I think kind of like to honor the fact that we're like growing up there in episodes, I think it really is time to it's time to just go ahead and open up the YouTube. I'm gonna start today. I'm gonna start uploading previous episodes on there so that there's like a full catalog. And then hopefully starting next week with episode 30, I will have this out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. Hopefully that goes well. I think that I should be able to do it today because the only thing that I really have on the itinerary is a lot of schoolwork, just getting caught back up. It is like T-minus like 6 weeks, I think, until graduation day. So that's amazing. I'm excited for that. So I've got to go ahead and knock these out. I've got to put a portfolio together, which is like really exciting to me because it's putting together everything that I've worked on over the past couple of years, as well as other things that I've worked on the side. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to end up. I have to turn that in like a week and a half. So wish me luck on that. But yeah, we can jump right into let's jump into the normal, like I said, like we always do. We do the Billboard Hot 100. We do the box office top 10 before we jump into the good, the bad, and the iconic for the week. So let's just go ahead and jump right into that. So this week on the Billboard Hot 100 for the week of March 30th, 2024, we have got... Let's start at number 10. We've got number 10, Cruel Summer, Taylor Swift. At number 9, we've got Enough, Miami, Cardi B. At number 8, we've got Tate McRae with Greedy. At number 7, we've got I Remember Everything, Zach Bryan featuring Casey Musgraves. At number 6, we've got Texas Hold'em, Beyonce. At number 5, and we've got so much more news coming up about Beyonce because she just released her newest album, Cowboy Carter, and it's really good, but I'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. Number 5, we've got Carnival, Ye, and Ty Dolla $ign. Number 4, we've got Lovin' On Me, Jack Harlow. Number 3, We Can't Be Friends, Wait For Your Love, Ariana Grande. At number 2, we have got Beautiful Things, Benson Boone. And at number 1, we've got Lose Control by Teddy Swims. I wish it was like the other way around. I love that like Beautiful Things song. It just like makes me think of like my mom and like my family and like, I don't know. It's just like a nice song. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Let's jump into the box office top 10 of the week for the week or weekend of March 22nd through the 24th. So at number 10, we have Bob Marley with One Love. We have Bob Marley, One Love, 1.1 million. At number 9, we've got Cabrini for 1.4 million. At number 8, we've got the lesbian like bodybuilding drama, Love Lies Bleeding, 1.6 million. At number 7, we've got Imaginary, 2.8 million. I heard that's got like a lot of bad reviews. Number 6, we have got Late Night with the Devil, 2.8 million. I still haven't seen it. I want to go see it. Maybe I'll see it tonight. Who knows? But it had like this like obvious marketing ploy where it made like $666,666. I'm like, no, it didn't. Don't fucking lie to me. I know that it didn't, and I know that you're just saying that so that like because you're like fudging the numbers a little bit to like make it like spooky and like devilly. Number 5, we've got Arthur the King, 4.3 million. Arthur the King. I thought it was like Arthur the King. Is that about King Arthur? No, it looks like a dog and Mark Wahlberg. Number 4, we have got Immaculate, Sydney Sweeney. At number 3, we've got Kung Fu Panda 4, 17 million. At number 2, we've got Dune Part 2, 18 million. And number 1, we have got Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, 45 million. Congratulations, I guess. I think that's like the sequel. to like the reboot of Ghostbusters. I don't know. I'm not watching Ghostbusters. It was like I watched the cartoon whenever I was like a little kid, and that was about it. That's all I was like interested in. Not much more than that. So yeah, that's our box office top 10 of the week, our Billboard Hot 100 top 10 of the week. We'll jump into the good, the bad, and the iconic next, I guess, right? Isn't it about that time? So we can get into some good pop culture news of the week. So first things first, we can talk about Robert Pattinson and Suki Waterhouse officially becoming parents. So the couple recently welcomed their first child together, and have begun to live their life together as a family of three. Nobody knows for sure when the baby was born. They don't know the sex. However, photos have surfaced this week of the couple taking a walk in the park with the stroller. In the pics that were obtained by the Daily Mail, Waterhouse and Pattinson are definitely bundled up. For some cold weather, and they got their baby bundled up too, because you can't see a thing like what's going on in there. It's like, is that a baby or is it like a puppy? Who knows? So Waterhouse, I guess, announced her pregnancy on stage back in Mexico in like November of 2023, showing off her baby bump underneath a sparkly gown, saying, I thought I'd wear something particularly sparkly to distract you from something else I've got going on. I'm not sure it's working. A source told People afterwards that a baby coming is absolute joy for them. They are thrilled beyond words, saying they are ready and looking forward to becoming parents, and that Pattinson couldn't wait to be a dad. So congratulations, I guess, to Robert Pattinson and Suki Waterhouse on the birth of their first child. They began dating back in 2018. I didn't even realize they were like dating. That's like crazy. For years, and my friends say, like, yeah, they're together. I'm like, oh, I had no idea. In February 2023, she opened up briefly about her partner to the Times, saying, I'm so shocked that I'm so happy with somebody for nearly 5 years. I'm like, is it really that shocking to be happy with like Robert Pattinson for 5 years? He's literally like, he was every teenage girl, some teenage boys like dream, like a man growing up. So like if you're dating them, like you kind of want to hold on to them. So congratulations to the Daisy Jones and the Six Star, as well as the Twilight Star on the birth of their first kid. That is always like some good news. I like to start off with this week. I guess I feel like last week we started off some like pregnancy news too. I don't remember who it was, but like I'm thinking that they also have like some pregnancy stuff going on. So in other like great news, we have got Marvel Rivals, a free-to-play game featuring Rocket Raccoon, Spider-Man, Magneto, Storm, and 12 more characters to launch officially this May. So wow, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I'm excited to like play that game. So a new free-to-play Marvel game titled Marvel Rivals will launch in May. When it debuts, players will take on the role of up to 18 different iconic superhero and supervillain characters from the Marvel Universe, with more to come in later game updates. The initial roster that is available to people, I guess, in this first round that is going to be coming out in May. The exact date is to be determined, I think. It includes Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Groot, Hulk, Iron Man, Loki, Luna Snow, Magic, Magneto, Mantis, Neymar, Penny Parker, Robert, Rocket Raccoon, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Storm, Star-Lord, and the Punisher. So, I guess this is coming from NetEase Games, who do Overwatch. Have you guys played Overwatch? I played it a couple times. Like, the guy that I like played it with, he like passed away. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even know that you like passed away. That's so sad. Never got to say goodbye. So that's like really sad to think about, but like I'm excited to play this game. I remember years ago they had this other game that came out. It was called Marvel Contest of Champions, and you were kind of like, it was like 1-on-1, and then I think it became like 2 versus 2. This game is going to be, I guess, going to be about like 6 versus 6. That's kind of crazy. I like want to build a team up and see like where it goes from there. I love Marvel. Obviously, we talk about X-Men here all the time here on this podcast. And X-Men 93 is actually X-Men 97 is actually going like really strong right now. They just had their 3rd episode, and it revealed that the Jean Grey who was in the show was actually the Goblin Queen, Madeline Pryor, who like was swapped at some point with Jean. So now Jean is like coming back. She's like coming back to take her man, but they had to give like she was like pregnant in the first episode, and it was like, oh my god, she's pregnant, she's gonna have a kid, she's gonna have Cable, Scott Summers and her son Nate, like Cable, Nathan Summers, who like was shipped off to the future, and he was shipped off into the future in this past episode, but I'm sure he's gonna come back at some point because he always does. So that's great. I'm excited for Marvel Rivals. Hopefully you are too. It comes out in like a month and a half or so, I'm guessing, so that's exciting. What else news have we got going on this week? We have got Ariana Greenblatt. We've got Ariana Greenblatt joining the newest Fear Street movie, Fear Street Prom Queen. So Fear Street Prom Queen sees Ariana Greenblatt join the cast of the Netflix horror movie. So there was initially a first wave of cast members that were announced yesterday, or I don't think it was yesterday, I think it was a couple of days ago, for Netflix's newest Fear Street movie, The Prom Queen. And it has now been revealed that Barbie star Ariana Greenblatt also has a role in the R.L. Stine adaptation. Miss Greenblatt, who will be seen next in Eli Roth's Borderland adaptation as Tiny Tina, was spotted on set in Toronto, confirming she is indeed part of the cast. So she was also in, what else has she done? She did Avengers Infinity War. She was the young Gamora. She was in that Adam Driver like dinosaur movie 65. She was in Barbie, obviously. So I'm excited to see this because I love the first like three Fear Street movies. 1990, what was it? 1994, 1977, and then what was the last one? 1666. Oh my god. So yeah, Variety reported that the cast also included India Fowler, Susanna Son from The Idol, David Ionco. We've got Ella Rubin, Chris Klein. That made me like really excited when I saw Chris Klein. So I was like, oh my god, he hasn't been in anything in so long. Lily Taylor's going to be in it. The Fear Street series started as a long-running horror series for young readers, amassing more than 150 entries by author R.L. Stine, who is most known for the Goosebumps series, which, I mean, there's been so many like movies and TV shows of Goosebumps over the years. Netflix previously released the past trilogy of the Fear Street movies in 2021, which featured Stranger Things star Sadie Sink. It featured, who else? I don't really think of anybody else. There was like the girl from Community, Jillian Jacobs, in it, and that was fun. She did a good job, but I was like more so like obsessed with like Sadie Sink and like the sister character Emily. What is this next Fear Street going to be about? So in Fear Street Prom Queen, it is prom season at Shadyside High, and Shadyside High is underway with a new pack of it girls who are busy with its usual sweet and vicious campaigns for the crown. But when a gutsy outsider is unexpectedly nominated to the court, the other girls start mysteriously disappearing. The class of '88 is suddenly in for one hell of a prom night. So it's gonna be like set in 1988. That's interesting. I'm excited to see how that goes. I really am. I think that Ariana Greenblatt, she's kind of got like the most notoriety out of everybody that's on there. So I'm like scared she's going to get like Maya Hawked. Like the first, I like how I say Maya Hawked, Drew Barrymore. They're like the most like noteworthy name in there to like be killed first, or like to get people like watching, because that's what happened to Maya Hawke in the first Fear Street movie. She was like the first like victim of the like this like serial killer who like killed her. It was fucking crazy. So that was that, like, it sounds like a lot of fun. I'm excited for that. We've also got some more movie news. We have got After the Hunt. Have you guys heard of it? Luca Guadagnino, the guy who did what the fuck did he do? He did Call Me by Your Name, and he also did something else that came out like a couple of years ago. So Julia Roberts has attached herself to star with Luca Guadagnino on board to direct. The film is called After the Hunt, and the film is an intense dramatic thriller about a college professor who finds herself in a personal and professional crossroads when a star pupil levels an accusation against one of her colleagues, and a dark secret from her own past threatens to come to light. It sounds interesting. Luca Guadagnino is also known for the upcoming Challenger starring Zendaya. That's what it was. And I'm curious to see that too. And the way that it sounds like it's gonna be like very scandalous, very like there's gonna be so much tea. So yeah, that's really, really exciting. I want to check it out. We'll see how that goes. Speaking of some more movie news, we can get into, what can we get into? We can talk about Kinds of Kindness that is coming from Yorgos Lanthimos. They put out a trailer this past week, and it looks like super absurd. And that's funny because Kinds of Kindness is an upcoming absurdist anthology film directed by Yorgos Lanthimos from a screenplay that he co-wrote with, how do you say this name? Ephemeris? I'm not even going to try it. Stars Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Willem Dafoe, Margaret Qualley, Hung Chow, Joe Alwyn, Hunter Schafer. It is set to be released on June 21st, and its premise, let me just get into it. Kinds of Kindness is a triptych fable about segments following a man without a choice who tries to take control of his life, a policeman who is alarmed that his wife, who was missing at sea, has returned and seems to be a different person, and a woman who is determined to find a specific someone destined to become a prodigious spiritual leader. So the cast definitely sounds like super interesting. It was originally titled End, like A-N-D. So we'll see how it goes. Yorgos Lanthimos just came off of the Poor Things, like win at every like fucking best director, best picture, like Academy Award. He's just like kind of like a big deal. I had not really heard of him. I have to be honest with you. I had heard of a couple of films that he did, like The Lobster. Have you heard of The Lobster? It's like with Colin Farrell. Yeah, that's like the first thing that I heard of him in. And then I heard The Killing of a Sacred Deer. I heard The Favorite. And then I heard Poor Things. And Poor Things was like the big, like, oh, that's what he does. Okay, that's interesting. I think that Poor Things was like creepy kind of, but I see what people were like trying to get from it, and they can have that. That's cool. Congratulations to Yorgos for getting another movie out there. We can end the good pop culture news of the week with some good news revolving around the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 13 was on track to achieve the franchise best 35-day viewership since 2014. It appears the season 13 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has achieved not only the series' highest viewership ever, but the highest of the entire Real Housewives franchise since 2014, according to Variety.com. So that's amazing. The first 16 episodes of season 13 averaged 4 million viewers across 35 days of Bravo and Peacock viewership. Episodes 17 and 20 have yet to hit the 35-day mark, but performed strongly according to same-day data, outpacing several of the preceding episodes. Assuming the 35-day averages remains at or above 4 million when the final 4 episodes are tallied, this puts season 13 above every single Real Housewives season since 2014, when the Real Housewives of Atlanta concluded its 6th season. Of those 4 million average Beverly Hills viewers, 2 million fall within the adult 18 to 49 demographic. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show also got a boost this season. All episodes of the season 13 after show reached a combined 12.1 million streams. That's a lot. Like 12.1 million streams, like just on like the after show. That's like not even the actual show. So congratulations to that. Also, Real Housewives of Miami did really well. Married to Medicine did really good. The Real Housewives of Miami season 6 is on track to become the most watched season of the series, averaging 1.8 million viewers across all data. So that's great. Congratulations to our Real Housewives ladies. They need some good news because their like live data is like not good. They get like 500,000-600,000 viewers per week, and that's not great. It could be a lot better. So we're gonna end our good pop culture news for the week on that note. But we will be picking up with some Real Housewives news in our bad pop culture of the week, which is going to be coming up next. So I said we'd be getting into some bad pop culture news of the week, and that it had something to do with Real Housewives. And let me just tell you, it has something to do with Bethenny Frankel. So Bethenny Frankel has apparently fallen victim to the New York City punching epidemic in a since deleted comment on a TikTok video of fashion design student Michaela Toninato sharing her experience of being assaulted. Frankel revealed she was randomly punched on a Manhattan street earlier this year too. She goes, "This is insane because this happened to me a few months ago, but I was too embarrassed to say. I was on the Upper East Side, or I was on the Upper West Side. Insane. I was taking video of a bakery." Yeah, this is like crazy. Frankel's recollection comes after more than 25 women took to TikTok and X and places like that to share their horror stories after being attacked in New York City in broad daylight in the recent months. Influencer Haley Kate, who has 1.2 million followers on TikTok, posted a video on Monday showing a huge bump on her forehead, saying, "You guys, I was literally just walking and a man came up and punched me in the face. Oh my god, it's so bad. I can't even talk." And it is bad. She's like a big old goose egg on her head. She gave a closer look at her injury, describing it as a devil horn. The NYPD confirmed the incident to the Post, saying a 23-year-old woman had reported an assault. At that Monday, they said that she was treated at a medical facility for the injuries to the left side of her face. They said it was unclear whether the viral incidents are connected. And supposedly they are. There's from some guy named Skadooby. What is his name? Like, he's Marvin Garvey's grandson, and who's Marvin? Is it Marvin Garvey or Marcus Garvey? His name is, okay, here he is on Instagram. His name is Skabuki. Is that how you say it? Yeah, Skabuki Stora. And he is like a psychopath. He's like, I don't know. Apparently he's a rabies survivor. He's the only rabies survivor from New York City, apparently. Is that true? Someone tell me if that's true or not, but apparently it's him. They caught him this past Wednesday. 40-year-old Skabuki Stora was arrested and charged with assault after multiple women in New York City reported being randomly punched in the streets. So accounts of the unprovoked attack spread through online, even including Bethenny Frankel, like I said. But Mr. Stora, later identified by police as the man arrested in connection with the incidents, is no stranger to social media and enjoys his own colorful online presence. I guess here's what you need to know about this guy. So Mr. Stora is very active on social media with over 10,000 followers on Instagram and over 83,000 on TikTok. He posts regular videos of himself both out in New York and at home. He appears to be a supporter of former President Donald Trump, with several of the videos filmed at home taking place in front of a large banner bearing Mr. Trump's name. He appears to be a aspiring rap artist. He claims to be a descendant of political Jamaican-born civil rights activist Marcus Garvey. In his videos, he often introduces himself to strangers as the great-great-grandson of Marcus Garvey. I don't think that's true. I feel like he's not. I feel like he's just using that name just to get some fucking clout. So Mr. Stora has apparently had a number of unsuccessful bids for public office in New York City, and now he's punching people. A recent GoFundMe page set up by Mr. Stora states, "I'm running for mayor of New York City in 2025. In the 3 months since its creation, the page has raised just $65 of its $5 million target, with one supporter commenting, 'Fuck yeah, Skabuki.'" Last year, Mr. Stora made a bid for city council in District 9, but lost to Democrat Yusef Salam. He ran on the Freedom Party ticket, failing to secure a spot on the ballot, unfortunately. In 2022, he was withdrawn or disqualified. Also, so he sounds like he's just fucking, he's a lunatic is what it sounds like. He was arrested this past Wednesday, March 27th, and charged with assault after a number of women reported being randomly just punched in the face by him. Like I said, Haley Kate was like one of the first ones to come out there and say something about it, saying the man was walking his dog when the incident happened. She fell to the ground and blacked out for a second. When she got back up, he was screaming at her and she ran away from it. I don't blame her. He's a fucking psychopath. Scared. I'd run away from him too. A statement from NYPD on Wednesday said an individual had been detained in response to a viral video depicting a woman who was randomly assaulted in an unprovoked attack. So yeah. Apparently, according to court records, Mr. Stora has had multiple court appearances since last July. He is next scheduled to appear on the 3rd of April, so the next couple of days. So we'll see if maybe they can just fucking throw him under the jail and not bring him back out. Because he's like one of those people I don't think he deserves it. Like, why is he going around punching people? And I watch his social media, and he's just going around to every single person in New York and just being a fucking disgusting menace. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm so glad I don't live in New York because fucking everybody up there is like weird. We can jump into some more pop culture news. We've got some crazy news going on with Diddy. I don't even remember if we talked about it last week, but he's been dealing with a fucking lot. Like, a lot of like sexual trafficking like charges and like stuff like being said against him, like alleged against him. And now Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend Young Miami from the City Girls is being accused of transporting an illicit pink drug. illicit pink drug for him in a newly amended civil lawsuit, according to the New York Post. That is a lawsuit against the hip hop mogul. So the city girls rapper known as Carisha transported the drug known as pink cocaine for Combs in April 2023. It said she brought the pink cocaine, or 2C, on a private jet from Miami, Florida to the Water Music Festival in Virginia, because Combs wanted 2C, but the drug mule, I guess, forgot it. That's crazy. Pink cocaine. Okay, so the so-called pink cocaine is a bright pink synthetic drug comprising cheaper substances like ketamine, MDMA, caffeine, opioids, and other psychoactive substances. What is going on there? That's crazy. Apparently there's been a lot going on with like Young Miami. Apparently she was like, they say she's like a sex worker for Diddy and gets paid like $240,000 or $250,000 a month. I don't know if that's true or not. That's like a lot of money to be with a man, especially like, I don't know if he's like making you like transport drugs. Like, I don't know if it's enough actually. So I don't know. That's like really sad to like even think about. Like Diddy, whenever I was like growing up, he was like, I thought he was like kind of cool. I was like, he's making the band. I like love that. He put together Danity Kane, and I love Danity Kane. I was obsessed with him. Aubrey is going to be on the new season of Baddies too. I cannot wait to see that. Like they showed like a little clip where like I guess Biggie and J-Lo are about to fight, and Aubrey looks like totally out of her element, and I'm loving it. It looks so funny. I can't wait to watch it. I don't know when it's gonna premiere, probably in the next couple of weeks or so. So that's crazy. What's going on with you, Young Miami? Are you like okay doing that with Diddy? I would like run far away if I were her, because like I don't want to be involved in the mess. So that's like really crazy, sad pop culture news for her. I mean, some people on Twitter were like, maybe that's why JT is like trying to do her own thing, but not Sideways. And I love Sideways. Sideways is like fun. I'm like, bitch, I ain't friendly. I don't fuck with y'all bitches. I like love that song actually. Let me just move on past that though. So we've got some really sad pop culture news this week to have to talk about. So an 8-year-old girl who drowned in a Houston hotel pool was violently sucked into the uncovered pipe, attorney says. So the family attorney said that they believe that 5-year-old girl or that the 5-year-old was being sucked into an uncovered pipe, and Alia Jaiko was trying to help her. Oh my god, I didn't even know that. What? I had no idea. That is like a new fact to me, because I just heard it was like an 8-year-old girl that just got pulled in. So we're learning heartbreaking new details about the death of a little girl whose body was found inside of a pipe in a Houston hotel pool. Alia Jaiko, 8 years old, died after she was violently sucked into a 12 to 18 inch unsecured open gap in the swimming pool flow system. It happened at the Doubletree Hotel along Highway 290 at Piedmont Drive in Northwest Houston on Saturday, March 23rd. Aaliyah was at the pool with her mother, her youngest sister, and other family members. Their attorney says the family is devastated. It's been a horrible and horrific experience for my client. In a news conference on Tuesday, they said that she may have been trying to save her 5-year-old sister, who was also being sucked into the uncovered hole. The younger sister was pulled from the pool by her 13-year-old cousin, but Aaliyah disappeared in a split second. Her poor little body was contorted when she was sucked into this hole and piped 20 feet back. Her body was inside the motor when she had to be extracted. They had to break up concrete in order to extract her cut pipe. It was absolutely horrific. It sounds horrific. I didn't realize that family knew. Oh my god. Just like knowing that she's down there, that you can't go there and they help her. Oh, I feel so bad. So like hours before she died, they rented a room at the hotel to enjoy a day of swimming. According to this article on khou.com, the mother stepped away briefly, but the family members were with her daughters in the pool. A lot of people were making comments about the mother, saying that she wasn't there, that she was missing, and that she was in the hotel room. None of that is true. At around 4:50 p.m., the family realized Aaliyah was missing. Aaliyah's mother and others frantically searched for the little girl, according to the lawsuit. Nobody could say where she was. She just disappeared. At around 5:20, the mother asked hotel management to look at surveillance footage, where they said that the police would have to be present to view it. At 5:45, they called 911 and reported her missing. So when they saw surveillance footage, they realized the little girl never left the water. We could see her little head go down there and never be seen again. It was pretty obvious something happened, and she never got out of the pool. Jesus, it was just it was just a lot. The child's body wasn't recovered by Houston Fire Department until 6:45 Sunday morning, nearly 14 hours after she disappeared. Oh, poor baby. It could have been avoidable. Like, why was there not like a gate over that thing? That's crazy. They say that their lawsuit now, I guess, is alleging that her death was caused directly by the hotel's negligence and the defective conditions of the premises. And I would say so. Like the hole that is in the lazy river is big enough for a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old to get sucked through. Like, it should not be able to happen. It should fucking be covered up with like a small, like, I don't know, gate or something. Why? It doesn't make any sense that they didn't have that. And like, I'm like, you're a Doubletree. You're a fucking Hilton Hotel, Kathy Hilton. Fucking get your ass over there and fucking do something, bitch. So that's really, really sad. I didn't know that like detail about her like little sister like might have like having to like save her, but like also why didn't they tell the family like, oh, she was being I don't want to like say why didn't, but like I'm just questioning like why didn't the little sister say to the older person who saved me, like my sister was saving me. I don't know. I just don't know anything about that. That's just so sad. So we'll move on from that, some sad pop culture news, to some really like scary fucking pop culture news. So a Pennsylvania man allegedly slaughtered his neighbor with a chainsaw while wearing a Scream mask, then went home to watch a movie. I'm like, what movie did he go home to watch? Did he go home to watch Scream? Weirdo. So victim Edward Whitehouse Jr., 59, was pronounced dead on Monday afternoon after being found at his home in Lehighton with gruesome cuts to his head, arms, as well as defensive wounds to his hands. He had been struck multiple times with a knife and a battery-operated chainsaw. Jeez, what are you talking about? A chainsaw? The suspect was wearing an all-black outfit consisting of a mask of the Scream character from a movie from a few years ago. What the fuck? Cops zeroed in on Whitehead's next-door neighbor, Zach Moyer, after he was seen on surveillance footage leaving the back of the dead man's home. Moyer began communicating with cops via a notebook, making wild claims about Whitehead being involved in crimes, including one note reading, Ed murdered women and children. Ed Jr. murdered women and children last summer. What? The wild allegations are not something we're looking into. The cops say. Moyer eventually handed himself in wearing a red hoodie rather than the Scream outfit he allegedly wore during the horrific attack. Moyer's sister told police he'd been talking about killing his neighbor a week before the ghastly crime and went home to watch a movie while waiting for cops to arrive. What? Why did he tell his sister that? Why didn't she say anything? He also hid the battery-operated chainsaw knife, which cops found along with the costume. His mugshot showed a red wound and remains of a bandage under his eye, which the suspect said came from being hit by his alleged victim. What the fuck? An actual fucking like Scream guy. This is like sadly not the first time that this has happened. There's also been like a couple of years ago, there was like this thing like these two teenagers attacked their like classmate Cassie something and killed her. And, like, they're in jail now. And they fucking should be. That's fucking crazy. And I'm, like, thinking, that's terrifying to be chased after somebody wearing a fucking Scream mask. And I'm like, oh, my God, I was, like, chased after somebody wearing a Scream mask. I, like, did a Scream on Campus last year for, like, a class that I was doing. And Scream on Campus was, like, a Scream fan film. And that I've kind of actually still been working on playing the script right now. But it like was about like a guy who like was wearing like a Scream mask and like chases after like me. And I like, that's terrifying to me. It's like somebody in a mask, even though it was like my boyfriend at the time. I'm like, oh my God, I'm being chased by a mass killer. And it is fucking terrifying. So I can only imagine what that man felt in that moment. Oh, and he was like older too. He was like 60. Oh, I feel like I was in a horror movie. So we've got some more sad pop culture news. Gypsy Rose Blanchard has separated from her husband and moved back home. She goes, I'm learning to listen to my heart. Right now, I need time to let myself find who I am. She wrote in a statement on Facebook. So that is crazy. She is hitting the reset button as she continues to adjust to life outside of prison. Those of you who know, Gypsy Rose Blanchard was in prison for the murder of her mother and like the premeditatedness of it all. So yeah, Gypsy Rose became like a big deal. Like she was talking about like her husband's like grade D on Instagram after she got out of jail. So it's actually like really surprising that she would make this turn and like leave her man. And it's sad. Hopefully she like finds what she's looking for. Hopefully he finds what he's looking for. And you know, I really don't have much to say about it because I don't know much about their relationship. They were only together for like 3 months, right? Or they were like married for 3 months. I don't know. So we can move on past that. We can do a little bit of maybe let's talk about oh my God, the Baltimore Key Bridge collapse. That was fucking crazy. So this past Thursday, a 984-foot cargo ship struck and collapsed the Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge. And footage of it was caught on video. Luckily, they like stopped like both ends of the bridge and people going on it. Unfortunately, there were 6 people on it there were 8 people on it with 6 of the people who fell into the river dying. Some of them being family members. Really, really, really sad. The footage is fucking crazy too. Like you just watch this whole bridge just fall over. And I'm like, oh my God. I like watched the one in Panama City like fall over a couple of years ago, and I thought that was fucking crazy. So that was like really sad. I don't really have much more to say about that except for like so many people are gonna be like fucking having to be late to work now. That sucks. So we can move on to some more pop culture news. Let's jump into the iconic pop culture news of the week. So we've talked the good, we've talked the bad. Now it's time to talk the iconic. So let's start with some iconic Euphoria news. So you guys know Euphoria. Euphoria is on HBO. It is starring Zendaya, Jacob Elordi, Sydney Sweeney. Who else is in it? I don't know. I think that's it. I'm just kidding. No, there's a lot more in it. Alexa Demi. We've got some interesting news coming out about Euphoria. So earlier this week, HBO officially delayed the drama, which was set to begin production later this spring, saying HBO and Sam Levinson remain committed to making an exceptional 3rd season. In the interim, we are allowing our in-demand cast to pursue other opportunities. Everybody loves Euphoria. Everybody wants more Euphoria, but there are some issues, I guess, in the writing room because sources tell Variety that Levinson, Sam Levinson that is, who exerts full creative control over the show, writing and directing every episode, proposed his vision for the season in winter 2023, featuring a time jump 5 years into the future for the former students of East Highland High School. HBO thought his pitch and early drafts for the season, which included meaty arcs for Sydney Sweeney and Jacob Elordi, that a source described as very compelling, were a strong start. But after the strike ended, as full scripts began to come in, they didn't pass Zendaya, I guess. I guess they were going to have her show up. This is what they say. It says, when Levinson turned in his revised scripts in late 2023, there was a new arc for Zendaya's Rue, whose character in Levinson's first pass had been relegated to the background in a somewhat surprising storyline about her working as a private detective. Okay. Other ideas for the rewrites include Rue, now sober, as a 20-something-year-old woman who would be a pregnancy surrogate. So I guess that won't be coming to fruition. I'm excited to see where they're going to go with Euphoria. I don't know. I feel like a 5-year time jump would have been interesting, but like, does anybody want to see somebody being like a private detective? Like, was she really going to be on her like Veronica Mars shit? I don't know. That's funny to me. What else have we got to talk about? We have got some more iconic pop culture news because we have got the icon Rebel Wilson, who like came out the other day. She came out of the closet a couple of years ago. Now she's coming out saying that Sasha Baron Cohen was trying to threaten her over her memoir. So she has revealed that he tried to stop, I guess, one chapter in her book, Rebel Rising, about him coming out. She writes on Instagram, "I will not be bullied or silenced with high-priced lawyers or PR crisis managers. The asshole I'm talking about in one chapter of my book is Sasha Baron Cohen." He apparently told her to do some weird shit, like stick a finger up his booty hole. I'm like, ew, why? He's like a creep kind of to me. There's like something about him like that I just like don't trust. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but there's just like something about him I just don't trust. And so speaking of something about him, something about her, Ariana Madix from Vanderpump Rules. You guys know her, right? She's kind of like the most famous woman in the world for getting cheated on. It's crazy. She is now spreading her wings even further, jumping over to Love Island USA to take on hosting duties over from, I guess, Sarah Hyland, who was on Modern Family. The Vanderpump Rules star is set to become the new host of Love Island USA, replacing Sarah, who has been in the driver's seat for the past 2 years. And I remember there was like a clip of her like fighting with one of the contestants like last time it was on. So I'm curious to see how that goes with it. Do I want to see more Ariana? Probably not. She like annoys the fuck out of me on Vanderpump Rules. So have you guys heard about all of this drama with this like iconic drama with Huberman, Andrew Huberman? I don't even know who Andrew Huberman is. And he's like a good looking like guy, which means that he's probably like politically scary. Apparently it is described as goop for bros. I don't know. I've heard of him on like a couple of podcasts. I heard of him on Sup. He's kind of like a wellness lifestyle like guru. So while he's got like big muscles and a bushy beard, he is no Andrew Tate or Joe Rogan. I guess he doesn't peddle the misogyny, as they say in this article. Rather than talking about that, he goes into the patriarchal messaging. Has a very sympathetic backstory about a broken home, wayward childhood. He seems like a good guy, so I don't know. Apparently he's a player. He's a big player, and I could see that. While he might seem calm and measured in his podcast, he's accused of having rage issues by one of his ex-girlfriend. He's also accused of giving one woman HPV while also trying to have a child with her via IVF. Don't say while he seems calm and measured in his podcast. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like, that's like not like a barometer of like what you are as a person on like if you are like calm and measured on like your podcast, because I'm calm and measured on my podcast and I am not I don't have rage issues, I swear. Oh my god, like what the fuck is going on here? Like, this is fucking crazy. This is kind of funny, actually. So he's accused of lying to women, doing all this like messy stuff. So he's like basically like every straight guy out there, right? I mean, come on now, like, bada. Sorry, whatever. Fuck my life. We can just move on past that. We've got some more iconic behavior from. I know that last story. He wasn't really iconic, but like the whole drama of it all is like iconic. So we can talk about a real iconic woman. So we have got a fearless New York City mom fighting her teen daughter's alleged kidnapper down 4 flights of stairs in an insane video. A fearless Queen's mother sprang into action when an alleged stalker tried kidnapping her teen daughter from their Astoria apartment building. A Ring camera footage shows the moment Adriana Alvarez sprinted after the deli worker who had become obsessed with her 18-year-old daughter legs as he violently dragged her down the stairs. The like super dramatic video shows her like trying to walk into her house and him coming from behind her, like from the stairs from like upstairs, and like grabbing her from behind and pulling him. He's some like creepy 25-year-old who had been laying in wait to try to steal her. And like as soon as that happens, like their dog runs out, starts barking, and like the mom hears her daughter screaming, and she runs out those doors. And she fights that man down those stairs. She said she had never heard my daughter scream like that. I thought maybe the dog had run downstairs. But I stepped out to see my daughter being dragged away. You never imagine this kind of thing would happen to you, especially in your own building. It was horrible. The mom, who was 5'4", put on a fierce fight against the 230-pound, 6'2" dude. Her punches, unfortunately, had little effect as he continued pulling her down the stairs towards the building's entrance. She said he pummeled her in the face before pulling out pepper spray and using it on both women. What a loser. So she suffered a dislocated shoulder, a fractured orbital socket, and a broken elbow. She was undeterred. She said they reached the first floor and a neighbor who heard us screaming came out with a stick and started hitting him. I saw that apartment door was open and I pushed my daughter inside. I guess he like kept on trying to take her still from there. I tried pushing his foot out. He grabbed me by the hair and he pulled me into the vestibule. He then allegedly stomped at her back several times. What a psychopath. Eventually, the mother and daughter managed to break away and sprinted outside. Once out on the street, she started banging on her neighbor's windows, yelling for someone to call 911. And a guy who lived next door ran outside to hold him down until the police arrived. So thank God for that. He was charged with attempted kidnapping, assault, weapon possession, unlawful possession of noxious. What's noxious matter? I guess the pepper spray maybe. Harassment and violating an order of protection. He's being held at Rikers on a bond of $50,000. They said he had rented a car the night before the attempted kidnapping and parked it outside her building. Inside the car, they discovered robes, sleeping pills, melatonin, and tampons. A knife was also discovered in one of his pockets. Oh my God, he was like going to kill her. He had this all planned out. Where was he going to take my baby? Oh my God. I remember reading about this on Pop Icon this week and like radio, and I was getting like emotional because I was like, she fought for her daughter and she's like bloodied in this picture. Like she really went through it. Her daughter was a cashier who became friends with this guy who worked in like the deli department. They were cordial. They spoke. They were friendly, but he got weird. And he'd be staring at her. Eventually, he approached her about going on a date. She said no, and he quit his job and started stalking her after that. So yeah, I guess they've created flyers and put them up about this guy, this creepy dude. She wasn't letting anybody take her baby, and that's what she said. She is, no one was taking my baby. Oh my God, I'm getting like emotional like thinking about it too. Like she fought for her daughter. She won. And that's great news because, you know, sometimes you don't win. And she fortunately was able to, and I'm proud of her. She's like a cool, like hippie chick, it looks like. So we've got that bit of iconic news. We've got some more iconic news with Beyonce releasing Cowboy Carter officially. So Beyonce's 8th studio album is available worldwide now. Act 2, Cowboy Carter, arrived today following the successful release of the 2 lead singles, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages, this past February 11th, Super Bowl Sunday. Texas Hold'em landed across 9 different genres on U.S. music charts before eventually hitting number 1 on the Hot 100 chart, which is amazing. This album was executive produced by Beyonce, and it is about genres, all of them, while being deeply rooted in country. And you can definitely tell that. There's definitely a couple of songs where I'm like, oh, that's like fun. There's like the song Spaghetti that I keep on like listening to. I can't like stop listening to it. It's so good. But then she also has like a song with like Miley Cyrus that's like really good too. It's called like Most Wanted. Dolly Parton is on there. Beyonce does like a remix, not a remix. She does her own like version of Jolene, and I thought that was like the first thing I listened to whenever I listened to the album. And I was like, oh my God, this is so fucking good. Everybody's like obsessed with it. People are like fighting over it. Lyft and Uber are fighting over it, like over the promo. I think that Uber was dragged by Lyft because Uber put out like a 16% off or something like that, and Uber's like, fuck you, we'll put off 50% off for Beyonce. And I was like, oh, that's like crazy. Like the girls are fighting. So that's like amazing. And that is probably where we're going to end things this week, guys. Check out Cowboy Carter if you get the chance to, because it's like a lot of fun. Actually, I'm gonna get off of here and go listen to it while I go to the gym because I need to like work out before I do this schoolwork actually. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys already don't, be sure to check out Pop Icon Radio on Instagram at Pop Icon Radio. I'm trying to grow my following on there, like I've said many times before, and I'd really appreciate a follow. And then, like I said earlier, I'm starting up the Instagram, or I have started up the Instagram already, and now I'm just gonna start uploading on there. So I'm gonna over this next week gonna be uploading the first 29 episodes on there in sequential order leading up to the 30th episode. I'm gonna premiere it on there. I think that you can do that, and I'll do that across all different platforms next Thursday, so that's super exciting. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and hopefully we see you next week. We'll see you. Bye.